Your subconscious doesn't distinguish between reality and imagination. Use this to your advantage. The subconscious mind is a powerful force, yet it lacks one crucial ability. It cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is vividly imagined. This is why a nightmare can cause real fear, why a remembered failure can trigger shame as if it were happening again, and why visualization, when done correctly, can rewire the brain as effectively as real-world experience. The thoughts and images you repeatedly expose yourself to shape your identity, not because they are true, but because your subconscious accepts them as reality. This is why elite athletes and high performers use mental rehearsal to enhance their skills. Olympic competitors don't just train physically, they visualize themselves winning, feeling every movement, every sensation, long before they step onto the track. Studies show that when an athlete imagines themselves practicing a skill with great detail, their brain activates the same neural pathways as if they were physically performing the action. The mind cannot tell the difference, so it strengthens those connections, making success feel natural rather than foreign. But this principle extends beyond sports. Top performers in business, public speaking, and creative fields also use mental conditioning to shape their confidence and capabilities. They mentally rehearse important conversations, imagine themselves handling pressure effortlessly, and condition their minds to expect success rather than fear failure. When the subconscious is repeatedly exposed to an idea, it stops questioning it. It accepts it as a given. Yet, this power cuts both ways. Just as the mind can be trained for success, it can also be programmed for failure. If you constantly imagine worst-case scenarios, if you dwell on past mistakes, if you repeatedly tell yourself, "I'm not good enough," your subconscious will believe it. And once it believes something, it finds ways to make it true. It will subtly sabotage efforts, lower confidence, and filter the world in a way that reinforces those negative expectations. In essence, your subconscious is always listening, always absorbing. The question is, what are you feeding it? The Stoics understood this centuries ago. Marcus Aurelius wrote extensively about the importance of shaping one's perceptions, reminding himself that our life is what our thoughts make it. He knew that the mind, when left untrained, falls into patterns of fear and negativity, but when deliberately guided, it becomes an unshakable foundation for resilience and success. So, how do you use this to your advantage? The key is deliberate mental conditioning. If your subconscious is always accepting input, take control of what it receives. Visualize success before it happens. Speak to yourself in ways that reinforce capability rather than doubt. Mentally rehearse challenges, not as sources of fear, but as opportunities to demonstrate strength. This is not self-deception. It is a strategic rewiring of your mind's expectations. If the subconscious cannot distinguish between reality and imagination, then why not create a mental environment that supports you rather than undermines you? The most successful people do not wait for confidence to arrive. They build it one thought at a time. Your subconscious is already shaping your life. The question is, are you the one in control of the process, or is it happening to you by default? Affirmations, the right way to talk to your subconscious mind. The way you speak to yourself shapes everything: your confidence, your actions, your success. Yet, most people engage in self-talk that weakens them rather than strengthens them. They repeat phrases like, "I'm not good enough, I always fail," or "this will never work for me," without realizing that their subconscious is listening, absorbing, and reinforcing those beliefs as truth. The mind believes what it hears repeatedly, not what is necessarily true. This is why affirmations can be a powerful tool, but only if used correctly. Most people misunderstand affirmations. They assume that simply repeating positive phrases like, "I am successful," or "I am confident," will magically rewire their subconscious. But the problem is, if your mind does not already believe the statement, it will reject it. If a person who struggles with self-doubt repeats, "I am unstoppable," their subconscious will respond with skepticism. "No, you're not." This is why generic affirmations often fail. They do not align with what the mind already accepts as possible. So how do affirmations actually work? The key is making them believable and progressive. Instead of trying to force the subconscious to accept something it does not yet see as true, start with statements that bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Rather than saying, "I am confident," when you feel anything but, say, "I am learning to build confidence every day." Instead of, "I am wealthy," when struggling financially, try, "I am developing the mindset and habits of financially successful people." These statements feel real, which means the subconscious will not reject them. Another crucial factor is emotion. The subconscious does not respond to empty words. It responds to feeling. Repeating an affirmation mechanically does nothing, but saying it with conviction, visualizing it, and experiencing the emotion behind it imprints it on the mind. When affirmations are paired with visualization, seeing yourself succeed, feeling the confidence, experiencing the moment as if it were real, they become exponentially more effective. This is why elite athletes and high performers don't just repeat words. They immerse themselves in the experience of success before it happens. Science supports this approach. Neuroplasticity research shows that the brain rewires itself based on repeated thoughts and experiences. The more you reinforce a belief with both language and emotion, the stronger the neural pathways associated with that belief become over time. What once felt forced starts to feel natural, and what once felt impossible becomes automatic. The brain is adaptable, and with the right conditioning, it begins to align reality with the thoughts it is repeatedly exposed to. The Stoics also practiced a form of mental conditioning. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself of the principles he wanted to live by, writing affirmations in his personal meditations to reinforce his values. He understood that the mind, when left unchecked, defaults to fear, doubt, and external influence. But when guided intentionally, it becomes the strongest ally in achieving mastery over life. Affirmations, when done correctly, are not about mindless repetition. They are about conscious mental reprogramming. They should be specific, believable, and emotionally charged. They should bridge the gap between who you are now and who you are becoming. And most importantly, they should be practiced consistently. Just as physical strength is built through repetition, mental strength is developed by conditioning the subconscious daily. Your subconscious is always listening. The words you feed it either reinforce limitation or build resilience. So the question is, what story are you telling yourself? Sleep and the subconscious, and programming your mind overnight. The mind does not shut down when you sleep. It processes, organizes, and absorbs information often working harder at night than during the day. While the body rests, the subconscious remains active, reinforcing patterns, replaying experiences, and strengthening whatever thoughts and beliefs were most present before sleep. This is why the last thing you focus on before bed has a profound impact on your mindset, emotions, and even your ability to achieve long-term success. Many people unknowingly program their subconscious with stress, negativity, and worry before they sleep. They scroll through social media, filling their minds with comparison and distraction. They dwell on the frustrations of the day, replaying conflicts and failures. They flood their subconscious with anxious thoughts about tomorrow,